the album Closer to Home came out, and it's an album that was huge for you guys. I mean, I heard you say in an interview once it was probably your favorite Grand Funk album as well. So why that one? Why did you pick that one?
Well, because the song Closer to Home, this is during the Vietnam War, and a lot of my friends out of high school got drafted and they were in that war. We lost friends
Yeah.
to that war. And when I'm Your Captain came out, I had prayed for that song. I prayed for it, got up in the middle of the night and wrote the lyrics to it. Didn't know it was a song because I'm writing in the middle of the night a lot. Uh, some of the best songs that I would have had, my ass was too lazy and I laid there and went back to sleep because I would say, oh, I'll remember that in the morning. That's never going to happen. You got to get up right then and write it down or record it, or, back then it was cassette recorders. So anyways, I got up and I wrote the words to the song, and got up in the morning, and I'm looking out, got horses out in the pasture. I'm on the farm. It's a nice a farmhouse built in 1891 in a Michigan place. It was me, man, 100%.
Mhm.
And I start playing the guitar. I have a acoustic guitar on a stand, and so I grab it and I start playing, and I was like, wow, that's a pretty good lick, I think. And then I grabbed a C chord, but I went to grab a G, and I fell short of the G and hit the C, but I think it was supposed to be, because when I heard that inversion of the C and I looked at my hands making that, I went, wow, that chord just spoke to me. It was like magic that morning. It was either that or the coffee. And as I'm thinking about, man, I got to remember that finger goes there, that finger goes there. Okay, I'm looking at this, and my mind went, those words, maybe that's the lyrics to a song. And so I went and got the words and put them down on the table in front of me, hit the red button on my cassette recorder, and wrote, or actually read the words and wrote the music as I'm reading the words. It just came together. Took it to rehearsal that day. We worked on it, Don and Mel and myself, and the rest is history, man. It was a great rendition for the orchestra, because Tommy Baker, the guy who was the band leader on the Upbeat show in Cleveland, Ohio, televised rock show, did all the orchestration for it, and he heard it in advance. He heard me playing the chords while we were doing the Upbeat show, and that time that we were doing the Upbeat show, James Brown was on that Upbeat show. Yeah, it was great. And Tommy Baker, the band leader for the Upbeat show band, ended up playing horn on one of James Brown's tunes that day. And then as I'm showing David Spiro the chords that I'm playing on, Closer to Home, I'm playing on my Messenger guitar, which was kind of acoustic sounding anyways when you didn't have it plugged into the amplifier. And Tommy Baker come over and said, man, when you get to that chorus, when you get to that outro chorus, he said, just keep going and going and going and going. And when you don't think you can do another one, give me 10 more. And I went, okay. So we did that in the studio, and the rest, Terry Knight mixed it in, but Tommy Baker, with the help of the Cleveland Symphony, put some great stuff on there and made that song what it was for our soldiers. That was their song. It's what helped them get through the Vietnam War, the Vietnam experience, the Vietnam nightmare, and helped them to get home. And to this day, when we play it, I always dedicate it to our veterans, to the boys and the girls that are active duty these days, because they're just like little kids, eh? When you was a little kid, that was like, you do that. Well, why do I have to do it? Because I said so.
Mhm.
You know, that was we learned how to follow orders pretty early on, Paul.
Yeah.
And so I have a heart. I have 5 sons, and I've got grandsons and granddaughters, and great grandson and granddaughter. Uh, and so I feel for our soldiers, and whether male, female, um, they're following orders.
Yeah.
They didn't invent the wars. They didn't. They don't even know about the damn things, but they know they got to follow orders. They've just been programmed like that since they was little tiny kids. So
Yeah, absolutely. And you're mentioning war there. I mean, we go back to World War II, and that's your parents. I mean, both of them, your mother and father, were had really important active roles, didn't they, within World War II?
yes, yes, and all my uncles, uh, even on my mother's side, all the uncles on my dad's side, all of his brothers were all in the service. World War II, man, it was like unite to save, what's left of the world.
And what was it that your mum did that was so special? Because she was the first woman involved, wasn't she?
Yes, she was the first woman in the United States to weld on Sherman tanks at Fisher Body in Flint, Michigan, of course, where all the General Motors cars and trucks got their frames.
Yeah. Incredible stuff, incredible. And just talk it in a little bit again about the album. I mean, one of the famous stories from that is the billboard in Times Square. I mean, it's a funny story to think back. Was it the guys that used to put it up? They went on strike, so the advertisement for your album stayed up there for much longer than was originally anticipated, didn't it?
Yes, it stayed up for like 4 months. The first month we paid for, it was $50,000 to put that thing up there.
Wow.
So we got $150,000 worth of advertisement for free.
And we like that price. That's a good price indeed.